Good Day UNA, brought to you by the National Broadcasting Society at the University of North Alabama in Florence, Alabama, where your topic is our main conversation.
Good Day UNA. I'm Caitlin Chappell.
I'm Kelsey White.
And I'm Jasmine Reedus. Thank you all so much for joining us back this week. We have some exciting news that has happened this week, and so stay tuned and you will see what's going on.
First of all, I think that one of the biggest news stories that's hit this past week is the biker gang attacking the SUV driver.
Yes.
That was just crazy.
It was. And I think the worst part was that he had a 2-year-old kid with him and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, and I know one of the wives of one of the bikers said that the media is really making the bikers look bad, but from what I heard, what I read, what I saw, is that the biker pulled over. There was 40 of them, and the biker pulled over in front of the SUV, and he barely bumped him. And then once they got stopped in traffic, that's when they attacked the driver, and he was trying to get away, so he drove away. And
over the bike.
He ran over.
Got in front of the car and stopped, and they.
But didn't the bikers, like one of them, like slow down in front of the SUV?
Yes, and that's why he bumped him in the first place.
He's being charged, the biker is, for that.
Yes.
Yeah. On the video.
And one of the bikers, the one that got run over is in an induced coma.
Oh,
He's most likely paralyzed. So his family is very upset, but at the same time, they drugged the man out of the SUV and beat him and left him on the road in front of his child and wife. So I know several of the bikers were charged with harm to a child, and so
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, a lot of people are torn. Like, should the bikers be charged, like you were saying, or the guy?
Right.
And I'm all for charging the bikers. I mean, you don't do that. I'm sorry about what happened.
Honestly, the bikers, they're giving off the stereotype of the rough,
And that's what people always like, oh, they're harmless. Well, that's a little out of hand. And the policeman that got involved is saying, and I think his quote to the media was probably one of the best I've heard, that they're looking at it as a big picture. They're not looking at, oh, this biker got hit and he's paralyzed, or this man ran over him. They're looking at it as a big picture, and they shouldn't have harassed him.
Exactly.
Right.
It started with
using self-defense.
Yeah. They initiated it. Definitely.
Well, I know when motorcycles come around, I'm just like, ugh, like I don't get near them at all because they just make me nervous.
There's a whole gang of 40-something.
Oh gosh.
And then when one pulls over, I honestly think that it's the biker's fault, and that he was just trying to use self-defense. I mean, we weren't there, and it could have been, more violent than we're hearing and seeing. But
I don't want to be there.
I didn't want to be there.
I would have cried, jumped out of the
New York
car.
City. I mean, you can just imagine that was a pretty big sight.
I know.
Another huge topic right now is whether or not college athletes should be paid. What do you think?
That's really interesting because I feel like they almost
They are.
With AJ McCarron, I know that he probably makes some money. I think he gets sponsorships. You know, he gets all this publicity. There's got to be something coming from it.
Like, I'm sure the school, gives them money to, eat on or whatever, clothes.
Yeah.
And to me, in my opinion, a scholarship, you are getting paid. That is your money.
See, Johnny Manziel, that was, like you say, he was taking money for autographs, and it was like,
right.
No, don't do that.
I read in the Wall Street Journal that, the big deal about him is the autographs and taking money, but he's not the first athlete to have ever done that.
No.
It's just the fact that football has become such, a glamorous, it's everyone's a celebrity that's a good football player.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem now, and so they're trying to make it into them being professional, and that's not the case.
And honestly, I feel like if college students or football players, if they do start getting paid, that's just downhill spiral for athletes. They're not gonna have that drive to make it to the NFL because they're already getting paid.
I completely agree with that, because once you're in college, you made it to college, you're playing, but the next step is a huge step.
That's the ultimate goal.
Only
the NCAA president says no way.
Yeah.
Right.
So
which I agree with.
I'm on the fence a little.
Okay.
I mean, maybe if you're not going to pay them, use less of their time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So they can go out and get a job and
exactly.
Do all those things. They're having to play football or basketball, whatever, all the time.
That is true. But my thing with that is they are getting the scholarship money. They're getting most of those football players, especially when they're as good as AJ McCarron and Johnny Manziel, they're getting probably a full scholarship.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
stars in their own
completely
right.
living the life in college, not having to pay for anything.
And honestly, I feel like once they do start getting paid, they're going to look at it like, this is my career. Like,
Right.
you know, forget school. You know, they're
And
not
they
going
need
to
to
focus on
school and
like-
still play football, and then maybe, like
Right.
we said, NFL is the next step, but that's a career step. That's not something you
No.
should do in school.
They'll be kissing babies in college.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it would
Same
get way too
things.
political and publicized, even more than it already is, if that happened.
That's true.
Right. Well, on a much lighter note, a man by the name of Ryan Leak in Dallas, Texas, actually proposed and engaged, or got engaged to his wife and married her in the same day by using her Pinterest.
Yes.
And what Pinterest is, it's pretty much an online pin board where you can attach like fashion trends, I don't know, your dream wedding, for example.
Yes.
Everyone
Everything.
always has
Board.
that wedding board, and they
Yes.
plan out their wedding, the women do. Then you have your like Halloween candy board and your Christmas food board.
Yeah.
So you have to dig through someone's stuff, and like
Right.
being a man. I mean, I know several men that have Pinterest, but not very many, and not very many know how to work it. Like,
Right.
not being, sexist, but
No.
I think that Pinterest is a very woman thing to do.
And she actually had over like 200 pictures. And he heard her mention to one of her friends, I think it would be so cool to get engaged and married in the same day. And he just used that and just ran with it.
He did, what a man.
I know.
What a man.
Come
Just
on,
taking it into
fellas.
his own
Like,
hands.
look at Ryan.
It's
that
on
is
social
just-
media.
Someone needs to get on my Twitter and my Pinterest and figure that out. That would be great.
I was
That would
thinking,
be-
Yeah.
if he brings, like, if somebody brought everything that was on my Pinterest, I would have, like, Ryan Gosling there.
Exactly.
Be like, this is the greatest day ever.
Taylor
Thank
Swift
you.
and her outfits. Like, I would get all these
Yeah.
things brought
Adam
to me.
Levine, I
Yes.
mean, you name them.
You
They're
know,
all
Right.
going to be there.
All those
for the
pins with
event.
him, like with the tattoos
Oh,
and then
girl.
all the different outfits that you pin. So
Every
that's
one of
pretty
them.
special because you pin all those things. And when I pin, I think, well, I'm probably never going to have this, but it'd be cool if I did.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll find this at a thrift store. Like,
Uh-huh.
And she
it's-
got
And he
it.
got
And she got
everything. And he actually like put her family on like a 3-day lockdown from social media because he brought her to Miami for like a vacation getaway.
Wow.
And all of her family was there, and that's where they got married. That's crazy.
That's so
dedication right
That
there.
really is. That takes a lot for a guy to plan that and like.
How is
Get
he
the
going to live
family
up
on
to
with
that,
it.
though?
I know. Yeah, I hope you're a good husband for the rest of
Should
your
be
life.
I know.
like, really? Flowers for Valentine's Day?
Wow.
I pin more than that.
I know. Did you have you checked my Pinterest lately?
Yeah, like every month, like I pinned this really nice ring. Like, didn't you see that? for
I
our
thought it just all
anniversary?
suddenly appeared when I
Yeah.
Gosh, that's the only
No.
thing. Like, I hope she doesn't expect him to keep doing that like every year.
True.
I don't know.
I think
He
that-
might.
I think that's
True.
cool because of the way social media is today, and like there's so many negatives people think of it, but
Right. That's actually a
pretty cool.
positive.
That's such a positive, and I think that
Yeah, that helps.
that more
He's
good
not a
things like that
creeper.
could come.
I
Exactly.
hope he's actually her fiance. Right?
You're
Okay.
right. They are married.
Okay.
Well,
Very good.
that is super cool. So we have
Yeah.
anything from people getting drug out of SUVs and beaten to people being engaged.
happily
for future
married,
stuff.
so-
I mean,
Wide range there.
yeah, the news has been blowing up this week. Still
I
with the
know.
government shutdown and all of that.
That-
Haven't figured that out yet. So
I'm just trying not to think about it. I mean, I feel like I should think about it, but that is just.
I still hear everyone saying
You can't
I'm
dwell
so
on it though. You
confused."
can't sit in a corner and be like, government shutdown. You know, just freak out. Like, oh my God.
Well, we would like to thank you so much for tuning in to Good Day UNA. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, like our page, and then tweet us at Good Day UNA. We would like to thank Dr. Sanders and the National Broadcasting Society for our production today. I'm Caitlin Chappell.
I'm Kelsey White.
And I'm Jasmine Reedus. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.